several clicks over task in Lake Ribiere, Quebec. Hello there everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of SnowRunner here at Overfed Gaming. You're listening to the Overfed. We are in a task in Lake Ribiere, Quebec called the several clicks over, where we gotta pick up a Royal BM17 and deliver it to the main office parking. Now we're in our trusty PLAD 450 and we're gonna go and take a look. We had our Avonhorn doing some pre-scouting out here earlier on, and we got a call from him saying that there was a Royal BM17 just up the road from the fishing hole, stuck there with a set of a load of metal beams on the back that needs to be rescued. So the PLAD 450 being the closest one available, we thought we'd go take a look. Now, going off-road here, we've been here before. This was a ice fishing pond where a car got stuck and we had to come in and rescue him out of the ice. Just to the left there where the weeds are coming out of the ice there, that's where we rescued him from. So we know that if we go around the outer edge of this here pond, it's fairly solid and we should be okay. Now most of the ice in Quebec is, you got to kind of test it out. Not all of it is solid, but if you do drive and test, if you get into something that's a little deep and you slide through the ice, you can back up out of it. Just make sure you take it easy, go slow, and you should be okay. Now, we had a little bit of trouble here with the nose on the PLAD. I don't know what was blocking it. I couldn't get up this little hill here, and I tried to go up it a couple of different ways, and I said, well, let's back it up, and no, it wouldn't go up over there, and let's try and take another little different angle at it from a little bit more to the left, but I think we're going to have to use the winch. Every once in a while you get into a little bit of a predicament like this where it just doesn't seem to want to go, and it's one of your best trucks. So we use the winch, we pull it, just get the nose up there, and then we're okay. Now, as we're coming up over the top here, we got to take a sharp left to a little bit of four-wheeling cross-country snow terrain. You got to be careful here because it does tilt quite a bit to the right. Now we could go down into the water there, the ice and stuff, but I don't know how solid it is. So I thought if you're not sure, my motto is if you're not sure, avoid it. That way, if there is a problem, you're avoiding the problem altogether. And when you do see the ice broken up like that, just try it and get it over to the side a little bit, and kind of try and miss as much as you can. Now initially, I had wanted to use the Avonhorn to pull this truck out of here, but after inspection, when I drove by here with the Avonhorn a couple of days ago, I noticed that it had metal beams on the back. Now, having metal beams, I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem if we lose those beams along the way, if they need to make it to the main office too. But so my thought process was that the whole thing has to make it there. If something happens along the way and I flip the truck behind me, because I got to tow it, I got to winch it, then those metal beams are going to fall off, and I wanted to have a way that I could grab them, pick them up, and I would have just put them on the back of the PLAD if that's what happens. Anyhow, that's why we wanted the crane, and the Avonhorn doesn't have a crane. So now we got to try and pull him through this first little area, which is a real problem. As you can see, there's a big rock sticking up on the right-hand side there, and I wanted to kind of pull it around that rock, because if we go over that rock, it's a little bit with one side of the truck, it could flip that Royal BM over. But being over too far to the side, now the PLAD won't climb up on that, so I had to reposition again and just keep trying to angle it. Well, that didn't work either. As you can see, I'm a little bit too far to the left. I just got to hook it a little bit further over, and hopefully get a little bit of damage to the motor, but that's okay. That wasn't bad. Hopefully we could just slide that Royal BM just past that big rock as we're trying to climb up on that rock on the other side of it. Very delicate process here. You don't have a lot of room, as you can see, and it angles quite a bit, so you don't want to go fast. I keep saying, if you take it easy, just go a little bit slow. I could have had the whole truck a little bit further to the right, but that's okay. We're still all right, as long as we don't slide off on the left-hand side. But if we just take it a little step at a time, he's bouncing quite a bit behind me there, though. Oh, that was probably one of the toughest places I had to pull something through, I'll tell you that. That was difficult. Anyhow, we got him through. So now we're just going to pull him through the rest of this here little section, and I do believe we got to get down to ice level, where they used to do these ice racing contests, which I'm sure that sooner or later we're going to come up against that. We're going to have to give that a shot. We want to try that out. But for now, we got to deliver this royal pain in the butt BM17 to the main office parking lot. Yeah, we seem to be doing okay here now. This is a little bit easier. I do believe that rocky edge that we had to claw across there was probably going to be our biggest problem. I think for the rest, it's not going to be so hard. Now, I did turn the engine on. I didn't turn it on right away, which I kind of forgot because the PLAD's so powerful. But when you're towing any kind of a vehicle, if there's no damage on the vehicle and if they got fuel in there, you can turn the engine on them. And when you do that, it makes it a lot easier to pull them. So if you're going over the rocky area and it's really hard because the truck that you're pulling is so heavy, see if you can turn the engine on. Anyhow, we are at ice level, and I've been through here a few times, and I have found out that there is a track here that you can go over and follow, and that way not go through the ice. However, if you're off a little bit, you could go through. So some of it's still in its testing phase, because not all places you can go through. Now we're just going to go to the left of this here hole where I obviously have fallen through before, and I'm starting to go through again. So I'm going to cut back a little bit because you can see some tire tracks over there. And if there's tracks in the ice, usually it's because you can drive there. Now over here, we go, see, now I'd fallen through the ice there before and I went on the wrong side of it. I should have gone on the left-hand side of it. There, the ice is a little bit more solid. And then there's some tracks coming out. We're going to just follow them. That makes it a little bit easier. Just like that. We got to get moving because the day is almost done. The sun is starting to go down and it's starting to get a little bit darker. But first we got to get to the other side of this lake, I guess frozen lake. Well, partially frozen because not everywhere it's frozen solid anyhow. You're going to fall through there fairly easily. Anyhow, I do believe the rest of the drive is fairly straightforward as long as we can see, so we can push the time forward and have a little bit better view of everything. But most of the road from here on in is basically common sense. You got to try and keep your truck fairly level and going, and hopefully make the turns a little bit wider so that the truck you're pulling doesn't go through any big holes or over any big rocks and maybe get flipped or something. Keep that in mind as you're pulling it, and you're not going to have a lot of trouble. We just got to get up the side of the hill here. Now, if I'm not towing anything, or if I don't have anything loose or worried about on the back of the truck, what I would do is I would climb up the hill to the left of the PLAD, right about here. You can climb up the side of the hill and get to the road a little bit quicker, but it's not really user-friendly. So towing a truck is a little bit more difficult. I Would probably be able to get up that hill, but I might lose the metal beams in behind on the back of the truck. So we're just going to go a little bit further around, stay on the track, and climb up the hill on the side here, and then we'll get just to the top there again. Going to hang a sharp left. It's a little bit of a grind because you know, you're going through still fairly deep snow, and you don't have great traction, but the truck behind you is helping. He is helping you go through it because the engine is running and it's not as big a drag on the PLAD as would be if you had to pull dead weight. We're going to take a tight left turn here and stay left. Going right would take you up to the top of the mountain, which is where we don't want to go. It's amazing how quickly you remember the map when you get to a new map. It doesn't take long to remember where all the roads are. Every once in a while we still have to assault the mini-map to find out exactly where we are, but we pick up on it fairly quickly. Now a few more turns and we're almost back at the road. And then we will take a right turn. And we'll be pretty close. Well, we're not too far away from our drop-off point, so we're getting pretty close now. Just a little ways left to go. If you go pretty slow through the snow, as it's a pretty heavy drag on the engine. So, but it's just the road is just up ahead here. You can't. That's the tough part sometimes when you're coming up the mountain. You can't see where the road is when it's only like 15, 20 feet or 20 yards in front of you as you're climbing up the little bit of a hill. And then it's where we're going to go and turn right onto the highway. And then we'll be able to pick up the speed just a little bit. There we go. Just down the road, we're going to have to take a hairpin turn to the left, back up the hill to finally deliver the Royal BM17. Not too difficult a journey, you know, very doable, but we have a very capable truck in the PLAD 450. But then again, most of the trucks that we're using, the PLAD or the Kenworth or the Avonhorn, they're fairly capable of most of the jobs that we need to do. And as we're coming around the corner, you'll be able to see the Avonhorn taking a break at the side of the road from all his scouting sessions, and he's just letting us take over and do this one job. Absolutely fantastic. Just love this journey. It's a nice quick little journey, couple of little trouble spots, but nothing really too major. It's just a wonderful quick little trip. Hope you enjoyed the video and maybe even got some tips and tricks out of it. And if you just came to watch it just for the fun, absolutely awesome. Come and watch it. Like it, share it, hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on any of the upcoming videos, and we got some good ones coming up. Anyhow, until then, we've been driving in a PLAD 450 in the several clicks over task in Lake Ribiere, Quebec. With me as your pilot, the Opafet.